Please welcome to News Mongolian MNB World. I am Amlan. And for our top stories, Amgalan Thermal Power Plant expansion complete. Chairman of the Kyrgyz Parliament to pay an official visit to Mongolia. Mongolian artists are taking part in the Venice Biennale for the 5th year. For other news, stay tuned. Mongolia reached a milestone in enhancing energy infrastructure with the completion of the Amlan Thermal Power Plant expansion. The project was part of the government's new revival policy, addressing concerns about imported energy dependence.
The expansion began in June 2022 to provide heat to the eastern parts of Ulaanbaatar. The project was designed to increase the heating network's capacity, covering 4.4 million square meters and serving an additional 20,000 apartments and 2,500 entities.
More than 200 people worked on this project over the past 2 years. With the launch of the expansion, the heating capacity of the eastern part of Ulaanbaatar is 116 megawatts. I'm glad to note that the expansion also created 30 more jobs.
During his congratulatory speech, Prime Minister Erdogan highlighted that the project was completed 4 months before schedule.
The government of Mongolia should complete the major energy sector projects launched. We have a culture of launching something and leaving it unfinished. By completing this expansion, we have set a good example. With an additional capacity of 116 megawatts, 112,000 households in Bainzurk district and 14 schools and kindergartens will be connected to central heating.
With the expansion now complete, residents of the eastern parts of Ulaanbaatar can expect improved heating services benefiting 60,000 apartments and 8,000 entities. The project's 61 billion Mongolian Tugrik's budget was secured through multiple channels, with 85% coming from a development bank loan and the remaining 15% from other domestic sources. The completion of the Amgalan Thermal Power Plant expansion is a significant achievement for Mongolia's efforts to bolster its energy infrastructure. The project's positive impact on the eastern parts of Ulaanbaatar is expected to be substantial, contributing to a more resilient and sustainable energy future for the region.
Nurlanbek Shakayev, chairman of the Kyrgyz Parliament of the Kyrgyz Republic, will be on an official visit to Mongolia from April 23rd to 25th. This visit comes at the invitation of Tsandan Shatar, the Speaker of the Mongolian Parliament.
The focal point of this diplomatic visit will be official discussions between Speaker Tsandan Shatar and Chairman Shakayev to foster a deeper understanding of bilateral relations, enhance inter-parliamentary collaboration, and address matters of mutual concern. Throughout his visit, Chairman Shakayev will engage in pivotal meetings, including a courtesy call to President Khrushchev and discussions with Prime Minister Oyun Erden. He will also be an honored guest at the Trans-Avta Stability Dialogue 2, which will convene in Ulaanbaatar from April 25th to the 27th. This visit marks the first visit to Mongolia of a Kyrgyz Parliament speaker and promises to fortify political discourse and foster trust between the two nations.
For its 60th iteration, the Venice Biennale is delving into the theme of foreigners everywhere. Mongolian artists are participating for the 5th time, showcasing the country's artistic prowess on the global stage.
Sculptor Ochurbolt is representing Mongolia at the Venice Biennale with their captivating exhibition Discovering the Present from the Future, drawing inspiration from the revered Buddhist deity Mahakala. The theme of the Mongolian pavilion at the Biennale revolves around understanding the present by looking to the future, a theme that deeply resonates with the country's rich cultural heritage. The pavilion's grand opening took place on April 18th, drawing over 50 international media outlets.
As the festival attracts international media and art critics, it's a wonderful opportunity to promote Mongolia through our artists and their art. The festival hosts workshops and master classes led by renowned international artists, so the festival presents new perspectives to its participants.
Under the banner of Go Mongolia, the pavilion's opening ceremony hosted approximately 200 distinguished guests from various fields, including politics, culture, and business. This event not only highlights Mongolia's artistic achievements, but also underscores its commitment to promoting its cultural heritage on a global scale.
Many years ago, I read an interesting book about Mongolian culture and art. Today, I feel like I'm reliving the moment. It's exactly as I read in the book, the feeling and atmosphere. I have wanted to take part in the Venice Biennale for a long time. It is an internationally acclaimed festival. Today, I'm honored and grateful for being given that opportunity. It is a great opportunity to experience such a renowned festival. I'm really happy to be taking part.
The Ministry of Culture actively supports the creative industry, recognizing people's valuable contributions to the global intellectual and cultural landscape. Mongolia's strategic focus on the visual arts aligns with its broader objective of enhancing international visibility and fostering cultural exchange.
Now please take a look at currency exchange rates provided by the Central Bank of Mongolia. Israeli military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said on Sunday that his country's forces had been deployed along the entire length of Israel's borders ahead of Passover. The Jewish holiday's duties start on Monday evening.
In his remarks, Hagari said that Israel's offensive will continue and that the military is making progress in this along with other goals of the war. Israel's military campaign has killed over 34,000 Palestinians, according to local health officials, at least two-thirds of them children and women. Around 80% of the territory's population have fled to other parts of the besieged coastal enclave. Hagari also commented on escalating tensions in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. Israeli troops killed two Palestinians, who the military says attacked the checkpoint with a knife and gun near the southern West Bank town of Hebron early on Sunday. The Palestinian Health Ministry said the two killed were 18 and 19 years old, from the same family. Hagari said that the military has completed a counter-terrorism operation in the Tulkarem area. At least 469 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli soldiers and settlers in the West Bank since the start of the war in Gaza, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. Most have been killed during Israeli military arrest raids, which often trigger gun battles or violent protests.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who had warned that his country would lose the war without U.S. funding, said on Sunday that he was grateful for the decision of U.S. lawmakers. Speaking on NBC's Meet the Press, Zelensky said that the aid package would send the Kremlin a powerful signal that Ukraine will be not the second Afghanistan.
It's been so important. That's why I'd like to say thanks to the Congress for the bipartisan support, and I'd like to say thanks to Speaker Johnson and President Biden. Indeed, it's so important, these supports from the United States of America and, of course, the support of the American people, because, of course, the political decisions depend on the public opinion. And this aid will strengthen Ukraine and send the Kremlin a powerful signal that it will not be the second Afghanistan. The United States will stay with Ukraine, will protect the Ukrainians, and they will protect They will protect democracy in the world. This is the show of leadership and strength of the United States.
They'll protect democracy in the world. This is the...
Zelensky told NBC that the aid has to end up in tangible weapon systems, highlighting that Ukraine would prioritize long-range weapons and air defense. The aid package will go to the U.S. Senate, which could pass it as soon as Tuesday. U.S. President Joe Biden has promised to sign it immediately. It still could take weeks for it to reach the front line where it is desperately needed. Responding to a question on the timelines for Ukraine continuing to need such aid packages, the Ukrainian president drew attention to previous delays to promised support.
Russian Federation.
2 Japanese Navy helicopters carrying 8 crew members crashed in the Pacific Ocean south of Tokyo during a nighttime training flight after possibly colliding with each other, the country's defense minister said Sunday.
One crew member who had been recovered from the waters was later pronounced dead, while rescuers searched for 7 others who were still missing. The 2 SH-60K choppers from the Maritime Self-Defense Force were carrying 4 crew each and lost contact late Saturday near Torishima Island, about 600 kilometers south of Tokyo, Defense Minister Minoru Kihara told reporters. The cause of the crash was not immediately known, but Kihara said he believed there was a high likelihood the aircraft collided with each other before crashing into the water. He added his ministry will suspend training flights for all SH-60s for now. Rescuers have recovered a flight data recorder, a blade from each helicopter, and fragments believed to be from both choppers in the same area, signs that the 2 SH-60Ks were flying close to each other. Kihara said, officials will analyze the flight data to try to determine what led to the crash. Search and rescue efforts for the missing crew were expanded Sunday, with the MSDF and Air Self-Defense Force together deploying 12 warships and 7 aircraft. Japan Coast Guard patrol boats and aircraft also joined the operation.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese spoke at a candlelight vigil in Sydney on Sunday in a tribute to the victims of a recent stabbing attack at a shopping mall. Albanese said the gathering was to grieve for all that's been stolen.
Australian Prime Minister Albanese speaks at a vigil in Sydney in tribute to the victims of shopping mall stabbing attack.
We gather here in Bondi to grieve for all that has been stolen from us, all the possibility and potential, all the kindness and humanity, all the love and laughter of the 6 lives snatched away on that hardest of Saturday afternoons. We keep this vigil for them, to honour all they were, to pay respect for all they meant. We mourn for all the years of joy they should have known, all the memories they should have had the chance to make, the new life they would have lived here in their new country, the success they would have achieved in whatever career they embraced, the happiness they would have created, the care they would have shown, the beautiful children they would have raised with such love. We gather here to remember them, our candles held against the darkness, and we offer the condolences of this community, our city, our state and our entire nation to all who loved them the most.
Albanese Premier of New South Wales Chris Minns and Mayor of Waverley Council Paula Messelos were among those who addressed the crowd. The speeches were followed by a minute's silence. On April 13, an assailant stabbed 6 people to death and wounded more than a dozen others at the Westfield shopping mall at Bondi Junction in Sydney in an attack that police believe targeted women. The assailant, Joel Kawuchi, was shot and killed by a police officer during his knife attack in the mall.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll see you next time with more news and updates. Have a good day.